So today we're gonna differentiate the real life story of Ed Gein to Monster, the Ed Gein Story on Netflix. If you haven't already seen the Netflix show, definitely recommend it, go check it out. This video will also contain spoilers for that show. So if you don't want anything spoiled, don't continue, or if you don't care, feel free to continue watching the video. So far, it's a very well done show with obviously some inaccuracies and some dramatization in real life. Ed Gein was a soft-spoken man like he is in the show. If you don't know who Ed Gein is, just give you a quick rundown. He was born in 1906 in Plainfield, Wisconsin. That's where he grew up. He had a pretty troubled childhood. His father had multiple jobs and reportedly was a drunk. His mother was very heavily religious and threw the hammer down on Ed and his brother Henry, who later passed away in 1944 due to heart failure. Some people speculate that Ed Gein killed his brother because he was talking ill about their mother, who later died of a stroke, I believe in the same year, 1944. So that really put Ed Gein down and really started his hobby, as he would describe it, in desecrating graves and digging up dead bodies at the Plainfield Cemetery. He has 2 confirmed murders. The story of Ed Gein is very blurry. It's not a straight road. It's got a lot of curves in it. 2 confirmed murders, but likely more. And the show depicts him killing more people than he did in real life. And so Ed Gein is a notorious serial killer who was caught on November 17th, 1957. And just a horrifying thing to happen, especially in a small town like that. And many pop culture movies were inspired by Ed Gein, one being Psycho, Silence of the Lambs, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 1974. So a lot of pop culture, because Ed Gein would desecrate these graves. He would use the body parts from the dead to create things, such as lamps, chairs. He made a belt out of nipples. Just horrifying things. There's no confirmation that Ed was a cannibal. There's also, in the show, it's depicted that he does actually give the people of the town, because he was known as the Plainfield Butcher, but he was never really known to go out and deer hunt. He would give people of Plainfield venison. So we don't know if that was actual deer or if it was. In the show, it's depicted that he's giving people human meat. We don't know if that actually happened in real life. So there's a lot of inaccuracies, or can we say inaccuracies, or things we just don't know actually happened. For example, in the show, Ed Gein is seen killing 2 hunters that went missing during the time Ed Gein was active. In real life, 2 hunters in Plainfield did go missing, but in the show, it's depicted that they were lost and they came across Ed Gein's farm, and Ed Gein killed them with a chainsaw. So I find that the timing is quite interesting. In real life, you have 2 hunters going missing while Ed Gein is still active. So very interesting. We'll never know if those 2 hunters were actually killed by Ed Gein in real life, or if they just genuinely went missing. You know, it's the midst of winter, it's cold out, maybe they froze to death, maybe one day their bodies will be found. Who knows? But very interesting. The show can get away with dramatization and these inaccuracies because we don't know the solid truth. We don't know if Ed Gein killed those 2 hunters or not. We don't know if he killed the babysitter Evelyn, like he did in the show. She went missing as well, and that's not a confirmed kill by Ed Gein. The confirmed kills are a lady named Mary and Bernice. Bernice Worden was actually the mother of a deputy in Plainfield whose body was found on the day Ed Gein was captured in a barn, just cut up. The show depicted that pretty accurately. I guess that's probably how it actually happened in real life. Obviously, it's probably dramatized. But I would assume that the deputy who found his mother tied up, dead, and dismembered, nearly dismembered. Her head was decapitated, would have probably reacted a certain way like he did in the show, which was running up to Ed Gein and just completely punching him in the face. Luckily, Ed Gein's lucky he didn't get shot and killed right there. I mean, especially back then. The whole romantic aspect with Adeline Watkins is interesting as well. Apparently, Adeline Watkins reportedly claimed to be Gein's girlfriend for 20 years, but then later denied those claims. So everything with Adeline Watkins is very blurry as well. Again, this is not a straight story. This is a story with so many curveballs, and we don't know the solid truth. And so I think that's why the show is able to get away with what it did, because we don't know the solid truth. Some of what happened in the show could easily have happened in real life. But in any case, Watkins, just days after Gein's arrest for murdering, hanging, slicing open, and disemboweling Worden in November of 1957, told Minneapolis Tribune that Gein was a good, kind, and sweet man. Watkins claimed that she and Gein were in a romantic relationship for 20 years and that their last date had been February 5th, 1955. So that's about 2 years before Ed Gein was arrested, again being arrested on November 17th, 1957. So we don't know for sure how well depicted it is in the show, but in the show, Eddie and Adeline had a very special relationship. Adeline knew about Ed's heinous crimes. She obviously in the show wanted to be a photographer for the New York Times, and we don't know if that actually happened in real life or not. Again, it's interesting for the show to go that direction, because if they were in a relationship for 20 years, who knows? That could be true. Maybe Adeline was just trying to cover her ass and did not want to get caught. You know, at that point, knowing of Ed's heinous crimes, maybe she would have been an accomplice, would have probably gone to jail as well. So maybe she decided, hey, that's not the story I want to go with. I was not in a relationship with Ed for 20 years. At that point, she probably would have known about his heinous crimes. But she decided to go back, no, I was only with him up until he decided to ask me to marry him, and then that's kind of when things fell off between the two. So very blurry. We don't know the solid truth behind Adeline and Ed Gein in real life. Obviously in the show, they're in a relationship. Ed asks her to marry him, and she actually says yes in the show. So who knows? We don't know the solid truth. Again, I believe the show can get away with this stuff because none of this is confirmed. None of this is documented. We don't know if Adeline is being true to her word. We'll never know. So very, very interesting. So those are kind of the things I wanted to go over in this video. The whole reason I decided to do this video is because Prove It is a show we want to do. We want to hopefully have it released in 2026. That's our goal. Prove It is where we go and investigate and try to document evidence to prove the existence of the paranormal, of aliens, of Bigfoot, you name it. Any mythical legend that we could go out and possibly look for and document any slight evidence to kind of prove its existence. We would love to do it. So this would be a dream come true investigation for us to do one day if this show gets big enough or this channel gets big enough. It ultimately is up to you guys, the viewer, if we get there someday. How much of a dream it would be to go to the Ed Gein property and actually investigate it. If you didn't know, the Ed Gein property, the house is no longer there. It burnt down about 4 months later after Ed Gein was caught it was in March of 1958 when it burnt down. And they were going to auction off some stuff, mostly everything. Obviously, the evidence was taken in for evidence, but they were going to auction off his personal belongings. Let's say, I don't know, tools and other things that may have been in the house as well. So before that auction happened, the house mysteriously burnt down, and nobody knows how it burnt down. So it's just a property. It's just woods now in real life. In the show, it is depicted that the house is burnt down before the auction is able to take place. So we don't know. There's no documented evidence. There's no documents reporting on who burnt down the house. Probably people. Obviously, I think it's weird to auction off a serial killer's stuff. So I think somebody, maybe a victim's family member or somebody that just felt that's not right, this place needs to not exist anymore, probably burnt it down. Who knows? It's, again, this is a very blurry story. Like, we don't know 100% what happened, and we probably, again, never will. So the house is burnt down. It's no longer there, but the property itself is probably haunted. So we would love to go there and investigate it, obviously being respectful to the victims and the people affected by Ed Gein's heinous crimes. Now, in Prove It, we're gonna stray away from investigating cemeteries. That's something we just don't want to do. It's disrespectful to go to a cemetery, a place of rest, and kind of disturb the place of rest and start asking questions and trying to provide evidence of ghosts being in a cemetery. I think, to me, it's quite obvious that a cemetery is probably haunted. Like, it's something we don't have to investigate, right? It's like, okay, that place is probably haunted. There's no need to go in there and try to document evidence, especially, it being disrespectful. However, we will document going to the cemetery and visiting Ed Gein's grave and Henry Gein and Ed Gein's mother's grave as well. So to just document it and just to have the experience of visiting those graves, I think would be pretty iconic and pretty cool to see as well. I believe the jailhouse is a tourist attraction as well. You could actually visit the jail cell where Ed Gein was placed when he was arrested. So investigating that would be really cool to see if any energy comes up out of that. Ed Gein didn't really spend a whole lot of time in that jail cell. He went to a mental hospital where he later died in 1984. He died of a respiratory illness. He was deemed unfit for prison, and he was just not mentally well. But to investigate the places in Plainfield, Wisconsin would be absolutely iconic, would absolutely be a dream come true for not only myself, but the people that are going to be on the Prove It crew as well. To just go out of state, because locally, for now, we're gonna have to stay locally. We're not big time YouTubers, so we have real life jobs, and we still have to get the equipment. And I think, for the first season of Prove It, we're gonna have to stay locally and do investigations around the place in which we live. Feel free to support the channel by hitting like on this video and subscribing as well. And there's more to come. There's more videos that I have planned that I want to do. I might do more videos on Ed Gein if you want to see more videos on Ed Gein. But I just kind of wanted to differentiate the true story of Ed Gein and the show just a little bit to kind of introduce Ed Gein into the Prove It channel, to kind of let you guys know that's a direction we want to go towards one day, is like investigating that place in Plainfield, Wisconsin, which, by the way, I don't know what was going on in Wisconsin between the 50s or the 40s and the 80s, but you had Ed Gein, Jeffrey Dahmer. I probably would have stayed away from Wisconsin in that time period, but yeah. But again, let me know what you guys think of Ed Gein in the comments down below. Let me know if there are any other differences between the real life story and the show that you've noticed. Feel free, we can have a conversation in the comments down below. I'd love to. And something, again, we want to work towards one day is investigating the Ed Gein property and just the places that he was in and around in Plainfield, Wisconsin. And so I think I'm going to leave it at that. Again, feel free to hit like and subscribe. Help the Prove It channel grow. I plan on doing more videos like this and other topics as well. Yeah, just let me know what you guys think about Ed Gein and all of that stuff in the comments down below. But I will catch you guys next time. Take care.